So in the last episode, we saw us lose 2-1 to Salford. Remember, it was a double header against them. We had them in the league and then we had them in the cup. And I'll bring you to what's happened in the recent fixtures in a moment. It's been looking good. I'm not going to lie. We had a little bit of a dip against Salford, as we saw. But since then, it's been pretty decent. It's made up of an FA Cup game, a Virtue Trophy game, and 2 league games. Because, of course, today I bring you back to the ever so important Bristol City game. And it's ever so important for these specific reasons that you're going to see. So, as you can see, we then went and beat Salford 3-0 in the FA Cup. They rotated quite heavily, but we did also rotate a little bit. You know, Thomas Woodward, we had the loanies all starting as well. So we didn't play, I would argue to say, our first string starting 11. So maybe we should just play our backup team more often, right? We lost 2-1, beat them then 3-0. We then went off and beat Barnsley 3-0. We beat AFC Wimbledon 3-1. And we managed to beat Chelsea on penalties in the Virtue Trophy. That brings us up to the game against Bristol City, as I said in the intro. And why is that important, I hear you say? Well, Bristol City are on 36 points and we're flirting with the playoffs. We're on 28 points. Of course, there are a lot of teams that have got a game in hand over us, and if they win that, they go above us. Realistically, if we win this game against Bristol City, we go up to 31 points. We're only then 5 points off top of the league. I mean, I don't think we're going to get promoted by any stretch of the imagination. I feel like we're going to have a rude awakening and a crash back down to earth. But with how things are going, I don't know. Is playoffs on the cards? Let me know in the comments section below. But without further ado, let's get straight on into the game against Bristol City today. It's a pretty much unchanged starting 11, apart from Mr. James Wright is now back in goal. So we've got James Wright in goal, Nambasi, Malachi Hardy, and Josh with Ishmael in the defence. I was going to rest Malachi Hardy, but I feel like we're going to need the big guns in defence today. Gromek, Gordon, and Harris in the midfield roles. Going for a little bit more of a compact midfield against Bristol City. I want to have a little bit more possession if we can. So as you can see, we're playing with 2 centre mids and then 2 defensive midfielders when we're out of possession. We've then got Holland and Francis giving us the width, with of course the main man Joe Hugill leading the line this afternoon. So I'm going to say to the boys, we're doing well, we're on a good run of form. Let's try and continue that, shall we? Not putting too much pressure on and telling them let's carry on that on. We're just saying, look, let's go out there, shall we? We're in good form. We're knocking the ball around well. We're scoring plenty of goals. Let's go cause an upset. Let's go show them that we are here. We've got our feet in the league. We've adjusted to the pace of the league now. And we are a force to be reckoned with. And all the other League 2. League 2? We're actually in League 1. Don't discredit us that much. We're in the League 1 teams. No, we are here. And we are here to stay. And I'm looking forward to us, you know, being able to generate a bit more revenue, because I feel like with a couple of more key signings, 1 or 2, you know, a couple of extra £1,000 on the wage budget, not the wage budget but FFP wage budget, I reckon we could have been challenging potentially this season with some of the additions that we've made. That's not good to see though. Malachi Hardy, no, not Malachi Hardy, Josh getting absolutely turned there. I do not like to see that, so I have to keep a close eye on that and hope that he keeps his concentration up. Francis has picked up a knock, which is very, very, very bad news. We may look to take him off maybe at 30 minutes, see if he can make it through to half time. Here he is though. Oh, an audacious attempt. We saw him score one of those in an episode recently and he absolutely rippled it into the back of the net. Unfortunately, not this time around. We're going to encourage the boys again. 20 minutes played. It's been all us. 2 shots. No shots on target though. 45% possession. So I say it's been all us. Pretty fair and equal in terms of possession, but no, we're doing well. We're doing well. They're top of the league, right? They should be performing much better than what we are right now. And so far, we're going toe-to-toe with the people who are calling themselves the leaders in the league right now. And at the moment, it doesn't look like that. A dangerous free kick here for us. Harris steps up. Lovely audacious effort. And it just gets saved. That was going to nestle into the corner. perfectly, but the keeper had other ideas. Unfortunately for us, that would have been some goal to have seen, especially away from home as well. That would have given the travelling Oxford City fans something to celebrate, I'm sure. But Malachi Hardy into Josh. Again, them two have started to build up quite a good partnership. I don't know why you're trying to pass that. You're no Declan Skara. We know what his passing's like from previous seasons. But let's keep concentration now. 44 minutes. Let's not concede now. We've been absolutely all over them. And James Wright coming into the starting 11 again today and absolutely making sure that he saves and keeps that clean sheet so far. We're going to address the team. I'm just going to say I think you've been unlucky. I don't think, you guys weren't that bad. You can still make a difference. I think we are going to take off Francis. We're not going to risk aggravating that anymore. We're going to bring on Berkeley Ajigapong. He's going to come in as a winger. He's got good acceleration, good pace. I know he prefers to play at left back, but this will give us a little bit more pace in behind to try them balls over the top, is my thinking. Other than that, Malachi Hardy, you're going to have to go out there for a little bit longer. Because stupidly, I haven't got Johnson or Scar on the bench. That was an oversight by me. I've only got this guy. Whoops. Hopefully that doesn't come round to bite us. But let's get on with the second half and see if we can carry on this momentum that we've had so far. We're going to encourage them again. 5 shots, 2 on target. James Wright picking up the ball here. Oh, my hay fever today as well, guys. It's absolutely killing me. Yes, I'm a gamer who has hay fever. Stereotypical, right? Luke Harris here. Out into Nambasi. What can he do with it? Takes on his man, lays it off to Holland. Oh, he gets it back. Oh, Gordon smashes the crossbar. Surely that's a penalty, ref. No, didn't get pushed over. Looks like we got pushed over from there. But Gordon coming so close. A little bit more composure there, and that would have been in the back of the net. Malachi Hardy into Josh. Ishmael cutting inside. No one's tracking him. And unfortunately, the one player that you would want to have a solo effort and a solo run on at goal is not Ishmael. He's got a great delivery. He just doesn't do well with shooting. But so far, still 0-0. 7 shots, 3 on target. Our XG's better than Bristol City's. More corners, just less possession, which, we're pretty much used to that anyway. So we ain't going to complain too much. Ishmael there getting out jumped as usual, but luckily the ball comes across to Josh and he plays it back to James Wright. Wright with an audacious ball downfield, but Hugill does win it, but there's no one running onto it. So you may well try to head that forward, Hugill. Hardy. Harris, ball over top, he's well offside, surely. I was going to say, if he wasn't offside, then the linesman needs to get his eyes tested. But 62 minutes played. In terms of what this currently means, is we go up to 5th. Salford must be losing. No, they're not playing today. So, it's a game in hand that they'll have over us, which is absolutely fine. We're going to encourage them again. We're going to make a couple of other changes. Holland can come off for Branningham. We're going to have Hugill come off for Woodward. And other than that, no, we're not going to take Malachi. Malachi will have to have a rest in the next game because I stupidly forgot to put Johnson or Skara on the bench. Josh deals with it nicely. Into Malachi Hardy. Nambasi. Holland. Playing it around the back. Just doing a nice bit of slow build-up play like we like to do. Ishmael. Ball for Hugill. Hugill's there! He gets it! The defender does not read that well at all. It's an absolute peach of a delivery as well. Look at this deep cross. Absolutely lovely. Hugill on his bike, as soon as he knows where Ishmael's going to put that, goalkeeper dives completely the wrong way. And their defender does not deal with that well at all. That is a very good time to score. We're going to waste time. We're going to bring the tempo down ever so slightly. I'm glad we made them changes to a degree. I kind of wish we didn't make them changes now so we could see out that little bit of momentum that Bristol City would have had. But so far, so good. I'm going to praise the boys. They're doing absolutely fantastically. I don't think any of them have put a foot wrong today. We've got a couple of lowish ratings, 6.3, 6.4s, but look at this formation that they're going for now. This is absolutely disgusting. And this goes into us with our wing play, so we're absolutely fine with that. Go into that as much as you like. And there you go. A 1-0 win over top of the league. That puts us up to 3rd. I'm going to get a nosebleed. I don't know what's going on. Everyone had thought we would lose there, and you've proved them wrong. Well done. Just goes to show, once we get used to a league pace, we absolutely tear it up. 1-0 win. That does mean we've played 18 and a couple of teams around us have played 16. So, I mean, I very much doubt I fully expect us to sort of drop down a couple of positions when them games get equaled out. But that is where we are right now. Bruised ankle for Francis, so that's not too bad. And of course, Josh, hey, I'm going to say you was absolutely outstanding. I have to admit about the praise, I feel like I'm glad you think you can do better. And if you can, please prove it. But I mean, you've been absolutely fantastic so far this season. But in terms of the plan moving from here, I think I mentioned when we last spoke that we was going to see us play Bristol and then potentially Preston, because Preston are also fighting it out. So many clicks they're not at the top of the league anymore. They're 6 points down, but they are fourth. So that is our next biggest game, arguably. Preston is our next biggest game to try and hold on to these playoff spots. So the plan will probably be to skip over the Reading and the Chesterfield game. Where are Reading and Chesterfield? Reading are 11th, Chesterfield 13th. Maybe we'll see that. We might just see the Reading game, you know? No. We'll skip over the Reading and Chesterfield game, bring us back to the Preston game again, just to keep the pace of the episodes going. It skips over a couple of games in and then we see the next one. So next time you'll see me, we'll be at the Preston game, of course, unless anything big or major happens, and I'll bring you straight back. Okay, so we are actually at the Reading game. We're going to bring you straight back for that. And the reason why is Reading won one of their games in hand. So that actually means they're on 30 points. We're on 31 points, and they are actually in 6th. So it makes sense to play them, right? Rather than skip over it, because it's an important game for battling for these playoff spots. Of course, we're not going to see every game that we play. For example, Plymouth, Preston, Sheffield Wednesday, Bristol, we probably would mean that in the next episode we've already skipped over the Preston game. But I thought, as we're here and it's our next game up and it is a very close in terms of points, let's play them and let's see exactly how we can do in today's game. We're not really going to make many changes. We are going to drop Malachi Hardy. We're going to give him that rest. Oh, actually, are we? Maybe we need all guns to the hands to the deck again. We're going to put Scar on the bench this time. We're going to make sure that happens. We might actually bring on Pendleton onto the bench rather than have the loanee there. Other than that, Ishmael is going to start. We really want to have him starting. And I think other than that, that kind of picks itself then. I might put him on there because we've got Francis who's dropped to the bench this time round. I'm going to bring him on probably in the second half. Let him have a little bit of a rest. We've got Hugo leading the line. Schweib, is this a game for Schweib or for Gromick? I think Gromick, and I think we'll keep Gordon. I was impressed with him in the last game. So that's going to be our starting 11, pretty much unchanged like we saw last time, apart from Branningham starting rather than Francis. So here we go. The team sheets are in and we are, of course, playing in our beautiful lime green kit. I'm going to say we've got nothing to lose here. Let's go out there and make the fans proud. We do still need to, speaking of that green kit, get the old green kit up in the background, but I've been more interested in trying to do the other parts around the office as well, trying to get the sound better, you know, and the soundproofing, but also wanting to sort of get a good couple of episodes here done for you guys, so we've got stuff to look forward to, right, in the journey with Oxford City, and then I can focus on the other little bits and bobs ready for when we get the streaming starting again, because don't forget, horror streams and playthroughs will be coming back very soon, and probably do some streaming on Football Manager, right? We might do a different save, but it might be a stream only save versus obviously the YouTube save, depending on how time works, right? We've got a lot to still balance, so that's why I'm trying to not put all of my eggs in one basket, so to speak. Well, I'm going to encourage the boys. This is not the same outcome right now as we had against Bristol City. We're getting absolutely peppered on possession, so what we might do, look at that out of possession. That is horrible. In possession, out of possession, they're so narrow. Let's go a little bit wider then on our attacking width, shall we? Because that is absolutely hideous. They're so narrow when they're attacking, which I suppose is better for us because I'd say our centre-backs are probably, you know, top quality. Gromick, top quality holding midfielder. And if we can then get the break on them like we have here, using our width, then that's great. Hugo here, unfortunately, it gets saved by the goalkeeper. Didn't really see him scoring that for some reason. I could tell from his body language. He weren't confident. Malachi Hardy winning the header, but Harris then losing out on the second ball. Doesn't control it very well. We need to keep an eye on him. Is he having much influence? If not, then we've got obviously other players that can come into the game. Ishmael getting absolutely turned. Burns here, cutting inside. We ain't painted ourselves in glory there, have we? We have not painted ourselves in glory. Who was that? Gromick, number 7. Drops into that centre-back position, but just doesn't really close him down. Just lets him run at him. Look, here we go. He's just going and going and going. At this point, you just want to come across, don't you? Don't let him get goal side. That's basics. 101. Don't let him get goal side of you. I'm going to encourage the boys again. But this formation that they're playing is currently undoing how we're playing, which isn't ideal. We may have to go and put another... I mean, it might be better just to put back to a cam, to be honest, than a centre middle. Ishmael have a little bit of skill there. You love to see it. Goes on a solo run. The less said about the shot, the better. Let's be honest. Currently, that result does put us down to 4th on 31 points. This is where we need to go. Okay, how are we gonna combat this? How are we gonna change this? We're gonna change the supporting runs to both flanks, and we're going to progress through the flanks. That makes sense. I might go shorter passing rather than direct, because if they're playing quite narrow in the attack, when they drop back they do obviously defend wide, but I think we can play through that press, hopefully. I'm going to say we've been the better team here. I don't think we've been that bad. I genuinely don't. I just don't think we've had a lot of the ball. I'm going to do this, swap them around. He's going inside winger, you're going inside forward. Actually, it might be better off to do that as wingers where they're going so narrow. In position though, they're not that out of position, they're not that narrow though, are they? I don't know. I think we'll leave it for now. Malachi Hardy, you're staying on again, mate. Sorry, I need you. You can have a rest in the next game. The next game never comes, right? They can always have a rest in the next game. We do need to up our game a little bit, so I might demand more. I might fire him up. Fire him up for the challenge. We've only had 26% possession. I mean, we haven't been that bad. I don't think we've been the worst team. We've had 7 shots, 3 on target. Goal difference is better, but that possession stat is appalling. Absolutely appalling. And I'm not sure really how we can change that, to be honest. Again, absolutely dominated. We've not got the ball, so we're never going to do anything with it if we can't actually keep the ball. What I might do is do this. See if that helps at all in possession and out. Let's get a little bit more forward going on here. Let's go box to box. And to be fair, I might go deep line playmaker. Let's see if that's going to help us at all. Get a little bit more solidity there. Build up a little bit more... Build up nothing. Build up absolutely nothing, because we've just conceded a second one. I'm not going to see it again. I don't want to see it again. We'll bring on Skara for Hardy. That's the only sub that it's going to be able to make there, so we'll do that now. I mean, we're 2-0 down. Let's not risk having any injuries to Malachi Hardy. I'll tell you what, Reading should be top of the league, not Bristol City. Hugo here picks up the ball from Gordon. Goes on a take on his man, but thinks twice about it. Into Francis, Gromick. Back into Gordon, Harris. They're linking up nicely. Hugill. How? Come on. I'm going to encourage him again, just to give him a little bit of motivation, a little bit of morale. Currently drops down to 5th. I mean, I don't know why I'm worried about that. The expectation. The problem is, when you're there, you want it, right? Now that we're here, I'm like, right, well, I want to fight for this. I want to fight to stay in the playoffs. Can we sneak into automatics? But if you asked me that 2 episodes ago, I would have snatched your bloody hand off. We were talking about leaving. We're going to encourage them again. There's not much we're going to do here. I don't think the game has pretty much run its course. 87 minutes. We're not going to score 2 now. Can we get a bit of pride and maybe score 1? Let's see if we can do that. But I don't even think we're going to be able to get that in as things stand right now. No. Okay. I'm going to say I'm disappointed. Because I am disappointed. You know, we beat top of the league. then get battered by Reading. But what that will mean in terms of next games, like I said, so we're going to skip over the Preston games. So Chesterfield, Preston, we're going to skip over. Obviously, the Virtue Trophy, we're going to skip over. FA Cup second round, we'll probably skip over that as well. We've got Walsall, Sky Bet League 2, so we'll probably skip over that. And then I'll probably bring you back for the Exeter or the Millwall game, I suppose. Where are Millwall? Near the bottom, Exeter, and near... We'll still bring you back to one of those, because then I don't want to skip over too many. So yeah, the plan will be probably bring you back around here. So maybe Exeter, and then we'll see another one off of the back of that. To be fair, if we look at those fixtures, Stockport, Chesterfield, Crewe and Wickham, all teams around this area of the pitch. The pitch, all teams around this area of the league. It could be a bloody good December for Oxford City. But there you go. That's everything you're going to see in today's episode. I hope you've enjoyed that, obviously, unexpected win against top of the league, but then kind of the expected loss to Reading, right? So, I mean, they equal each other out, right? It's a 50-50 split. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. Don't forget to hit that like button if you haven't done so already. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new around here to continue watching the journey, and comment down below if there's a position that we're weak in. What position is it? Transfer window's coming up. Where do you think we need to strengthen? Let me know. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.